You're listening to the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hey, I'm Lex,
And I'm Sam.
and we are the Bloodshed Baddies.
Oons, 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 oons.
Bloodshed Baddies.
Batty, 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 batty.
Hey, Sam.
What up, Lex?
How are you today?
I'm not too bad. What about yourself?
Did you do anything fun today?
All I really did was get my hair did.
That's nice.
What about you?
I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and then I went to work, and then I worked out, and now I'm here.
Very exciting.
I know, crazy. So I want to know, Samantha, what dead Greg's recipe did you pick?
I, with a surprising change of events, decided, because I was very much craving it, to make Dead Greg's mac and cheese.
So you have made it.
I have made it yesterday.
Tell me about it. Tell me about the process. Was it easy? Was it hard? What went in it? How did it taste? Tell me everything.
It was longer than I thought it was because I definitely should have looked at it before. But it was an easy recipe. I did substitute two things. I substituted Greek yogurt for sour cream, which I always do just because you can do it and it's good and healthy. And then I substituted half and half for the whipping cream. So those were the two things I substituted. And then optional, you could add ham and pineapple to mac and cheese. And I was like, I love ham and pineapple on pizza. I'm just gonna try it.
I've never heard of that mac and cheese before in my life, but TBH sounds like it slaps.
It was incredible. It made so much. I have the recipe. It still made so much. However, it was really easy. Like you just cook the noodles and then you put everything together and then you put it in a pan and you 45 minutes covered and then uncovered 15 minutes and it's chef's kiss. I love it. Everyone go make it.
Oh, amazing. I have picked out my recipe and bought the ingredients, and I am going to make it after we get off today. I have chosen the chicken primavera.
Also sounds amazing. Have you like looked at the recipe? What's the process?
Yeah, it looks super easy. It's like four ingredients, I think. It's like fettuccine noodles,
Oh,
chicken, stir fry vegetables, and cream cheese.
you're making me hungry.
Yeah, and it looked the same. Like you basically like bake the chicken, cook the noodles, put it all together. So I will let you guys know on the next one how the chicken primavera was. I had a hard time choosing. I went through all the videos and I was like,
I
which
did
one am I gonna
too.
make? There's some good looking desserts on there too. But
Oh,
I wanted to make a meal, not a dessert.
that's kind of where my headspace was. But maybe we can post pics when we're done making our Dead
Yes.
Greg's recipe for the
Shout
baddies.
out Dead Greg.
We love ya so much. And now I'm hungry. So let's get through this so we can eat.
Okay,
What?
okay.
You ready, Lex?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're doing today. I didn't even look at a spreadsheet. I am coming in completely blind.
Good. So today is a case that Mom and I were actually talking about a little bit ago.
Now I know.
Yes. And I decided to start researching it and taking notes for the pod. And during this, like during my research, taking notes, Netflix actually came out with a documentary on it, which was very helpful, called Vanished at Sea. So everyone should go and watch it. I got more information on it, which was really great for you guys. This is such an insane story and is actually unsolved, which, I hate.
Oh my gosh, Sam's doing an unsolved one.
I know.
Who would have thought it?
But today we will talk about the disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley. Amy Lynn Bradley was born May 12th, 1974 in Petersburg, Virginia to her parents Ron and Iva Bradley. She grew up in Chesterfield, Virginia, and Amy had a younger brother named Brad who was born 2 years after her. Amy and Brad had like a big group of childhood friends in their neighborhood, and growing up, they were always outside playing. One of their childhood friends said that the Bradley home was filled with love and laughter. It was a tight-knit family.
That reminds me of our Ashley Lauren crew.
Yes!
We
Shout out
were
Ashley
just
Lauren.
always outside playing, hanging out. What up, Jamie? What up, Sabrina? I know you both listen.
We love you guys. Amy and Brad also love to swim, and both were on the swim team for a long time. Amy actually previously worked as a lifeguard. Amy always had this drive to succeed. Her parents instilled a positive level of confidence in her, and she was very athletic. Amy was also very competitive, but like in a good way. She was actually the only girl on the boys' basketball team.
Oh, wow.
She was so good at basketball that she ended up being the first female to get a full basketball scholarship to play at Longwood University.
What a baddie.
She is a baddie all around. While in college, Amy actually comes out to her friends and her parents. And in all honesty, her parents took some time to process this. It was 1995, so different times, but they were also just worried that it wouldn't be welcomed by the general population.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to worry about your kid a little bit, especially back then with how people treated other people.
1,000%. Regardless, though, they loved Amy and they were there for her no matter what. But Amy really finds herself in college, and in 1996, Amy graduated with a degree in physical education, I believe with a goal to be a teacher. She was super friendly, fun, and just could talk to anyone. Honestly, she's just a great girl.
She's like, I want to be a teacher and a basketball coach.
Yeah, Batty.
I could feel it.
Yeah. In 1998, Amy was 23 years old and about to start a new role at a computer consulting firm that I believe her uncle worked at. She also just got a new apartment and a new dog, a female bulldog named Daisy.
So cute. Also, let's go, girl. We moving on up. We're getting a job. We getting a place. We getting a puppy. We are living our best life out of college.
Yes, her brother was 21 and also doing well in college. Both Iva and Ron worked at Illinois Mutual Insurance Company and they won a 7-day cruise through work.
Ooh.
Iva and Ron are killing it too.
Would you ever go on a cruise, Sam?
Yes and no. I've always wanted to. One, I'm afraid I get seasick because I do get bad motion sickness.
I'm terrified I'd be seasick the whole time.
Yes. But two, after like doing research on this case, honestly, I'm a little bit like apprehensive now.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So my decision to not go on a cruise is going to be held up after this one. Got it.
I would say so. But Iva and Ron are elated when they find out that they can bring their children. And they decided this could be like a celebration of their family's academic and career accomplishments. And this could be like a once in a lifetime opportunity to enjoy each other's company and make all of these memories during this time.
That's so cool that they get to bring their kids. That's
Yeah,
like, and that's not like they have like, they're like, oh, you have little kids. You can't leave them home alone. So we'll pay for them. It's like our kids are grown adults and they still get to bring them. That's cool.
heck yeah. Amy was actually kind of like us, a little apprehensive when it comes to going on a cruise. Even though Amy loved to swim, she didn't really like open water or big ships. But her brother was like, hey, I've been on a cruise before, calmed her down, and then she felt okay about it. So on March 21st, 1998, the family goes to Puerto Rico to board a Royal Caribbean cruise on the ship Rhapsody of the Seas through the Caribbean.
I love Puerto Rico, even though I spent most of the time I was there barfing, but that was not Puerto Rico's fault or my fault. Just happened to get sick the first day I was there. We were only there for 3 days. So
Lovely. The cruise was scheduled to stop in Aruba, Curacao, St. Martin, and St. Thomas.
I want to go to all of those places.
Literally same. Rhapsody of the Seas is a huge cruise ship, and like almost 3,000 people are on the ship. Amy and her family had a room that they all shared on the 10th floor, and they had a pretty tall balcony on it. The family is enjoying their vacation, and after 2 days at sea and seeing Aruba, the ship was scheduled to arrive in Curacao early the next morning. That night, the family goes to this very fancy dinner. Amy and her mom dress up in formal dresses, and her brother and dad dress in tuxes.
Ooh,
Yes. Amy is looking gorge. They enjoy this nice fancy dinner. And honestly, the wait staff is like flirting with Amy to the point that the family is making jokes like, if anyone needs anything, just have Amy ask because they'll bring it right away.
got it.
After dinner, the family go and they change into casual clothes and they go to the top deck to party. At 1 in the morning, Ron and Iva, Amy parents, are like, hey, we're going to sleep. We love you. Good night. And the parents go to bed.
Partiers running Iva up till 1 a.m. Let's go, babies.
I know, pretty impressive. We have to remember here that Amy is 23 and Brad is 21. So they're like prime partying time.
Oh, to be young again.
And it was also said that Amy did enjoy herself a good party. I believe she had around 7 light beers that night, according to the bar tab. But this did start at 6 p.m. And
I was going to say, it sounds like it was over a long period of time.
yeah, so nothing too cray cray. But Amy and Brad, they keep partying when their parents go to bed. And then they go to a dance club, which was like a disco. Brad and Amy are doing their own thing, but they're at the same place. Brad is talking to some girls. Amy befriended some crew members and some others as well. Again, Amy's known for being able to have a conversation with everyone, so she's just being herself, talking to everybody.
She's just chit chatting it up.
Yes, there is video footage of her also dancing at this event. A little after 3 a.m. on March 24th, Brad goes and tells Amy that he's also going to go up and go to sleep and makes his way to the cabin.
3 a.m. and this girl's still partying. I mean, back in the day, yeah, but whew,
I was going to say 23-year-old Lexi could definitely do
yeah.
that.
But 34-year-old X, not so much.
So about 20 to 30 minutes later, at around 3:40 a.m., Brad is on the balcony and Amy comes home and joins him out there.
Okay.
They sit on the balcony and finish their drinks and discuss the next day activities at Curacao. Amy also brings up that the bass player from the band, he goes by the name Yellow, made a pass at her.
Yellow. Okay.
After they talk for a bit, Brad is like, I'm tired and I'm going to go to bed. And Amy said she was going to stay on the balcony and enjoy the breeze because she wasn't feeling too well. Sometime around 5:30 a.m., Ron, Amy's dad, woke up and he went to check on the children and saw his daughter, Amy, asleep on the balcony. He said, quote, I could see Amy's legs from her hips down. She looked like she was resting comfortably. I dozed back off to sleep. The balcony door was closed.
Okay.
He woke up again about a half hour later and had a funny feeling
Oh no.
and saw the balcony door open about 14 to 16 inches, and Amy was gone. Her cigarettes were also gone.
Okay.
It was weird for Amy to leave without leaving a note or letting someone know, but her dad thinks maybe that she is smoking on the top of the deck since her cigarettes are gone and maybe wants to see the sunrise from there.
Also weird for her to like leave the balcony door open.
Yes. But with the funny feeling he was having, Amy's dad decides to go and look for her. He searches everywhere on the ship he can, and he can't find Amy anywhere. He rushes back to his wife and son. This is around 7 a.m. The family quickly alerts the ship's crew, and they request that passengers be prevented from disembarking at Curacao. And they also ask for a ship-wide announcement. Pretty reasonable requests.
Very reasonable request, in my opinion, but I have a feeling based on how you said that, they're not going to do that.
Well, Lex, the security director man is like, I won't do a voice page at 7 a.m. because that could be intrusive to the other guests.
Okay. You know, it's intrusive to my vacation, my daughter being missing off of a cruise ship.
That's literally what I thought. He says, keep looking, and if you can't find her in a half hour, come back and I'll make the announcement.
Okay. Still think he should make the announcement, but I can deal with that compromise.
Can you deal with this one? Security also tells the family there are around 2,400 people on the ship that paid a lot of money, so they are going to dock and let people off at Curacao.
So I get both ways because, like, what if she was just like, I'm not saying this is what happened, but like, what if she just like went into a crew member's cabin or another guest cabin and like was hooking up and didn't tell her parents? And like, what if she was just doing something she didn't want her parents to know? Like, it is crazy to think like, oh, we have to stop 2,999 people's vacations for one person. But I feel like we could say, like, before people get off, we're going to do like a sweep.
Yes. So the ship staff ends up delaying the announcement until 7:50 a.m. after many passengers had already left the ship for the
And
day.
no, 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 no. You do the announcement first before anybody leaves.
Any chance of quickly locating Amy passed.
What's the point of doing it once everybody's off? Wait, and you won't make an announcement at 7 a.m., but most of the people are off the boat at 7:50 a.m.?
Yep,
That doesn't make any sense. Senseless.
completely. Now, at 9 a.m., again, after many people left the ship, the cruise ship does a full ship search for Amy. They look in rooms, closets, etc. Basically, like how it works on a big cruise ship like that is people have certain locations. Like crew members have to search their own rooms and then like search other people's rooms, things like that. So
Maybe crew members should search each other's rooms.
you would think,
Maybe not search their own rooms and say, check, no one in here.
yeah. So it does still take a decent amount of time, but quicker than you would think of like one person doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But after they search, they inform the family that Amy is not on board.
Because, like, she could be, we needed to do this before anybody got off because she could have gotten off.
Exactly. I can't imagine the feeling that the family had. Because of this, local authorities are called in. The family is told they have two choices. One, they can stay on the ship, or two, they can get off and search for Amy on their own. So the family goes ashore and they search for Amy and they go to the American embassy. Then the Marines, Navy, and Venezuelan Coast Guard do a search of the surrounding waters to try to see if she possibly jumped or fell overboard.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's progress.
They are also given search grids to search, and after hours of searching, Amy isn't located. They were very close to docking when she went missing. So if she were to be fallen off overboard, they most likely would have found her in this case. So there's that. The FBI is then notified and they fly in from their St. Thomas office to meet the ship that is now in St. Martin. And the family flies to meet the FBI at the ship as well. And when they get there, the family room was cleaned, so there isn't much evidence there.
It's not that lady's fault, that cleaning lady or man, but someone should have been like, don't touch the fucking room.
They also interview the family together and separately since they were the last people to see Amy. Also, remember how I said there was video footage of Amy dancing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the head of security on the ship calls and asks the videographer for the master tapes of that night. But the videographer thought that was weird because he's like, I'm not going to give you guys my master tapes.
Yeah.
And also, like, why aren't the police calling me? So he gives them directly to the FBI.
Good for the videographer for like catching that red flag right away.
Agreed. On this video, Amy is shown dancing with the bass player who worked on the pool deck, Alistair Douglas, who again went by that name Yellow.
Why yellow? I need to know, but it's fine. It's fine.
Now, there are two girls on the ship, and they said that they saw Amy and Yellow going up on a glass elevator to like a closed club around 5 or 6 in the morning, which would work with that timeline. They said that 10 to 15 minutes later, they saw Yellow by himself and he walks right past them, which they thought was weird because he was trying to be all chummy with them earlier. Unfortunately, this story can't be corroborated because on the ship, it clocks in when your key card is used to enter your room, not to leave it. And these girls forgot their keys and had to knock on the door, and one of the mothers let them in. So there's no record of them out there during that time.
Oh, that sucks.
Several other passengers did later come forward stating that they saw Amy with Yellow that night. One witness even said they saw him hand her a dark drink.
They saw him hand her. Okay.
Correct.
But she
So,
was drinking light beer, so that would be weird.
correct.
I mean, not that you don't mix or take shots or whatever, but
Still, also like eyewitness, is that really reliable? Who knows, right?
yeah.
So, as the family Brad, Ron, and Iva are trying to put things together, figure out how to find their daughter. One thing that stands out to Amy's brother is that Yellow actually came up to Brad, again, Amy's brother, and said, "I'm sorry to hear about your sister." But Brad thinks about it and realizes this was when his family was searching for Amy before the ship announced that they were looking for Amy. So before the shipwide announcement.
Hmm.
So, again, how would Yellow know she was missing, is what Brad's saying.
Yeah. I mean, well, right now, all signs are pointing to yellow.
The FBI does talk with Yellow, and he seems very nonchalant and like comes out of the interview with a smile and a thumbs up. But Yellow claims he knows nothing about Amy's disappearance and passes a lie detector test.
He gives a thumbs up when he comes out of the interview.
I guess.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah. So again, the families keep thinking of everything. And another thing that is odd to the family is that after the fancy dinner, they went to look at photographs that the cruise ship takes, and you can like go and look at these printed photographs and like buy them. And when they walk in, the guy printing the photo recognized Amy and was like, "Oh, your guys' photos are right over here." And when they walk over there, all of the photos with Amy in them were missing.
What?
And the man was like, "Did someone in your group already pick these up?" And they were like, "No." So I would just ask them to print more, and they printed more.
That's creepy as fuck. Also, it's very strange that all of this crew knows who she is. There's 3,000 people on this ship.
It's, yeah,
Like, she's obviously pretty, but I don't know. It seems very strange to me.
agreed. Because another thing that they remembered was that the wait staff was being very flirty with Amy, and allegedly they mentioned wanting to go somewhere on land with Amy as well. The Bradleys also had a different neighbor, or a quote unquote weird neighbor, that liked to talk to Amy through the balcony. He was an older gentleman on the cruise alone, and her mom just got weird vibes from him and his intentions. He is actually on the documentary and was like, "I was just being friendly." But there's a lot of weird interactions on the ship that's interesting to note, just like you said.
Yeah, I'm just confused, I think. I feel like they're all talking about her, and that's why.
Mm. But anyway, the Bradley family isn't resting and they're doing everything they possibly can to locate Amy. So, 2.5 weeks after Amy's disappearance, Ron and Brad go back to Curacao for a press conference, and Amy's mom stays home to man the phones. In the press conference, they raise the reward to $260,000, and they just basically ask for help. Now, after the press conference, a taxi driver named Deshi approaches Amy's father and says, "Your daughter didn't fall from the ship. She's on the island, and I hope you can find her."
What?
He tells Amy's father that she approached his taxi and seemed frantic. He said Amy was wearing jeans and a white top, which is what she was last seen in. She said she needed a phone. Dashi pointed to the payphones and Amy went the other way. Dashi tells the family they need to check out Coral Reefs Resort and Kadushi Cliffs. They need to just look around and not talk to anyone.
If this cab driver is telling the truth, then like, what a fucking guy. If he's not, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Ron and Brad go, but with a police officer who said it wouldn't be safe if they went alone because these places are owned by different mafia groups. They also check out shacks and whatnot and are driving down these windy roads that are wild for part of the night. A vehicle passes them, and Brad says that clear as day, he heard his name and he believed it to be Amy's voice. So they turn around and they follow this vehicle for a little bit. And once they get to the vehicle, Amy is not in the car. So just a complete disappointment for all of them. On their way home, while waiting in the Miami airport for their connecting flight, they get a call from Iva. She got a phone call that they found a body with brown hair around Amy's size and believed it could be her.
Oh no.
Dutch authorities do a series of tests and realize it is not Amy. But I can't even fathom that like emotional roller coaster.
I was just gonna say, like, maybe we do the tests first before we call a parent and say we found a dead body and it might be Amy's.
Yeah. And then after like the dad and him searching and hearing from the taxi driver and thinking they heard her. And then, oh, now it might be her body. Like, the poor family. Once all home, again, the family is doing everything they can to get the search going. They're combing through tips that they're getting emailed and they're getting Amy's story out there. In May of 1999, they get Amy's case featured on an episode of America's Most Wanted. A scuba diver named David is watching and is like, oh my God, and calls in. David said in August of 1998, this would be 5 months after Amy went missing, he was scuba diving on the beach and he saw a woman that looked just like Amy
On a beach where?
on the beach in Curacao.
Oh my God.
So he said he noticed her distinct tattoos that she had. One that she actually designed herself, which was the Tasmanian devil spinning a basketball.
That's like, that's not just being like, oh, I saw someone with dark hair. That could be her. Like, that's a distinctive tattoo.
And he says he distinctly remembers this because he ran, like, you know how you run into people sometimes? Like, he ran into her, and there were two other men with her. And it seemed like she was about to say something to him, but one of the men pulled her away and gave him like an evil death stare. So it stuck with him. David's like, that's the only reason I remember this interaction.
Oh my gosh.
So David agrees to meet the Bradleys in person and talk with the FBI. And they're like, what did the other men look like? And he was like, oh, for sure. One of the other men was Alistair Douglas, the man who went by Yellow, because Alistair Douglas was also shown on This American's Most Wanted episode.
I'm sorry, I forgot that everybody can't see me. I just have my hand over my mouth right now because I'm shooketh.
Yes. Now, while the FBI says this is the most credible tip they received, they aren't able to corroborate much because it is a Dutch island.
Mm.
Now, in January of 1999, the USS Chandler, a Navy ship, pulled into Curacao. A Navy man went out and stopped into a shady bar slash brothel that he knew he wasn't supposed to be at.
Mm.
The Navy does have very strict rules about certain things, and you can like go down in rank, get in trouble, get your pay taken away, whatever. But this man's goes to this shady bar and walks in, and two working women come up to him and start chatting him up. One of the girls gets up, and as soon as this other girl gets up, the other girl sitting there says to him, they are holding me against my will. I owe them $200 and they won't let me leave. My name is Amy Bradley.
Oh my God.
Allegedly, from this man, she left the ship on her own to score some drugs and now was stuck in this situation.
Was Amy known to do drugs?
Well, her family does, which I have this coming up, but her family does think that that's like, does not sound like Amy at all to do this, and especially like to leave without even just telling like her brother at least. So I don't think so. From the sounds of it, she did. I could be wrong about that, but they seem like that is a weird part of the story.
Okay.
But this man did appear on the documentary, and he said that he has heard a lot of stories from working women during his life that can't be trusted. So he left and went about his merry way, afraid to say something in fear of getting in trouble because he was 2 years away from retirement and also not even sure if it was a true story.
That's so frustrating. Also, I keep forgetting people can't see me. I just am covering my eyeballs because I'm just frustrated.
It's so frustrating. In 2001 or two, though, he sees Amy's photo in People magazine and is like, oh my God, that was the girl and that is Amy Bradley.
Oh my God.
So this man's finally tells someone. The FBI did do a lie detector test on him and he passed, but again, they couldn't corroborate his story. They tried to go to this bar or brothel, but it was burnt down. Like I said previously, her family doesn't think the story of her leaving to score drugs makes much sense at all, but they do recognize that he does seem like a legitimate witness. So just to put it out there.
I mean, maybe like she wasn't personally trying to score drugs, but maybe like Alistair was getting drugs and he was like, come onto the island with me And she was like having fun with him and like, yeah, and then realized he was like trying to buy drugs and got mixed up in something.
Yeah, or even if like, you don't have much time. So maybe she said like we got off the ship to score drugs, like maybe Alistair forced her off the ship to not necessarily Alistair, somebody
Hmm.
else forced her off the ship to do drugs and things like that. So like maybe it's just part of like this story that she was quickly trying to tell that was perceived
Yeah.
different is what I think personally. Because like Amy's dad thought it was weird she didn't leave a note to go smoke on their like roof. Like I feel like
Hmm.
Amy would have at least told somebody something.
Yeah. I don't think she left 100% willingly.
I 100% agree. Now I'm going to start this part off with saying that this is just absolutely awful. But in August of 1999, the family gets a call from an acquaintance and they give the family a contact of a person who specializes in finding missing people, and his name is Frank Jones. He claims to be a retired Navy SEAL. He says he has a team and contacts in Curacao. Within days of contact, he tells the Bradleys that Amy is on the island and had been spotted several times on the beach. He asks the family for like $24,000 for travel and other expenses. Jones goes down there and tells the family she is with local drug runners demanding money, but he will need more money to go in and rescue her himself. And the family was like, we need proof.
Yeah.
Jones provides a picture of a blonde guy and a picture of a girl with a hat and Amy's tattoos. And they wire him $100,000. Over months, they paid him a total of $210,000.
Whoa. And this is back in the early 2000s. So that's even more now.
In October of 2000, Frank Jones says he is ready to go in and do this mission. He tells the Bradleys to fly to Miami and have a jet on standby until he gives them the all clear. The Bradleys pack their bags and go to Miami, and Iva calls doctors and like psychiatrists and things like that to have all of these people on standby to set these appointments up for Amy when she returns. The Bradleys stand by the phone for 1 week, and Jones says he has to abort this mission because they got into a gunfight. One of the people on his team, Tim Buckholtz, hears him telling the family this and is like, are you flipping kidding me? And calls the family himself and says that unfortunately Frank Jones has been lying to them and he's a fraud.
Oh my fucking God.
Terrible people in this world.
Terrible.
The Bradleys alert the FBI and Frank Jones is arrested the moment he hits the ground in Virginia in 2002 and indicted for wire fraud.
Yay.
He was sentenced to 5 years in order to pay back the family in full. Amy's family is like, we don't even care about the money, but we care about all the wasted time we could have been putting our energy into finding our daughter elsewhere that wasn't this stupid lead.
Yeah. And the freaking emotional damage.
Yes. In 2005, while the family is still combing through tips and doing everything they possibly can, the family gets an email of a website where people would go to get prostitutes while on vacation. And the pictures, although different, look eerily like Amy. I'm going to send you a side by side, Lex, and I want you to tell me your thoughts.
Oh, this is so exciting. I love when you send me pictures.
All right, hold on. Copying and pasting.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think they look similar?
Um, the way her teeth and her lips
Hmm.
are very similar. I mean, they both obviously have dark hair and dark eyes. They both have good cheekbones. I don't know enough to know if they're the same cheekbones, but I think her mouth looks a lot the same.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed were the cheekbones. But obviously, at this point, time had passed. So she's aged. Like Lex said, her hair is longer. The FBI does a forensic analysis of this photo, and they believe it to be Amy Bradley.
So this is on a prostitute website.
Yes.
And her parents found this? I'm sorry.
They were emailed a tip. So like
Oh,
a
okay.
anonymous person emailed them this website. And this website is specifically for like people who go on vacation to find prostitutes.
Cool, cool, cool. Is it like in Curacao?
So the website was actually based in the Caribbean. So like wherever you are in the Caribbean,
Oh, cool, 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 cool.
which is interesting because this is in 2005 and also in 2005, a woman is traveling on a cruise with her husband and they are in Barbados. She's on land looking for souvenirs. She uses the restroom at one of the places on land, and while in the restroom, she hears people walk in and men's voices start talking. I would freak out if I was sitting there going to the bathroom and heard men
I
talking.
literally would like pull my feet up, squat on the thing so they didn't know I was in there.
Yeah. She hears something along the lines of the deal's at 11 o'clock, and I'm warning you, you better be ready to go. The woman waits until she hears the door open back up and the people leave. So she's like, okay, the men are gone. So she comes out of the bathroom and a woman is crying near the sink. So she tries talking to the crying woman, but it's a very strange interaction. The crying woman does say her name is Amy.
Oh my God.
And then she like walks up to the woman. So like the girl who said her name was Amy walks up to the other woman. And the woman feels like very uncomfortable. Like she just heard men come into the bathroom. Like there's this girl crying and she's walking up to her. So she opens the bathroom door and the two men were waiting outside for the woman that said her name was Amy, like so close that the other woman had to like snake around them to leave.
If all of these stories are true, Amy, and these are all Amy, she is begging for help from people every opportunity she can.
It's so sad. This woman that went to Barbados was watching Dr. Phil and she saw the picture of Amy come up and was like, oh my God, that's the girl I saw in Barbados. So she calls the FBI, and again, they can't corroborate the lead. In 2010, a human jawbone washed ashore Aruba. It was actually initially suspected to be linked to Natalie Holloway,
Oh, wow.
which we did do an episode of if you haven't heard that one yet. But it was determined to not be Natalie, and no other testing was done to see if it matched other individuals, including Amy. Some believe that maybe it could be. Some people believe. Sadly, March 24th, 2010, 12 years to the day of her disappearance, Amy was declared legally dead. No body had ever been found, though the FBI continues to offer a reward on any information or a lead to her recovery or an arrest, and the Bradley family is still offering a reward for her safe return and confirmed location. So I think it was just like legal reasons they had to do that. I think that the
Yeah.
FBI and the Bradleys believe that she could still be out there. Well, the Bradleys for sure do. This is interesting. In 2014 now, I believe, an online investigator was interested in the Amy Bradley case. So he created this website that will be linked called amybradleyismissing.com. He thought it would be good to have all of the information in one spot and has like the tips on there, news articles, things of that nature. He also posts updates on the family and pictures of them as well. And the family's aware of this and they're okay with that. Somehow, I don't really know how, but investigator and scuba diver David link up. And David is like, hey, send me the IP addresses that look at the website, and I can see if I can find anything out by checking them out. I'm not a huge computer person, but I guess you can like look at the IP addresses to who look at your website. From scuba diver David looking at these IP addresses, there is a certain IP address that views the website the most. And this is an IP address that is from Bridgetown, Barbados,
What?
where that last sighting of Amy was. This IP address will spend like 45 minutes looking at the website, especially on holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries.
What?
Now, they have two theories about this. One, it's someone involved with what happened to Amy and feeling guilty and visiting the website to see if there's any more leads, etc. Or two, could it be Amy herself?
Oh my God.
Yep, because they post those updates on the family, and this person will spend like 45 minutes on one page. Although people do question if Amy had access to a computer, why wouldn't she email or reach out to her family? But other people argue like she could be in a position where she cannot do that.
Yeah.
Like, say she had kids during this time, or like her family was being threatened.
Or look
Um,
at like the case we did last week with Colleen, and she was allowed to go home and stay the night at her parents' house, and she still did not tell them the truth of what was going on because she was so afraid of her captor.
yes,
And like this is so many years later, like there could definitely be some Stockholm syndrome stuff happening.
1,000% great connection that I didn't even think of, but that's so true. It could just be manipulation that she's not reaching out. I'll end this though with the three main theories, basically just to wrap it up. So, theory one would be accidental death or suicide. This one seems unlikely. For one, no one believes Amy was in that state of mind. The balconies were like super high up. She was a great swimmer. Nobody had ever washed up or was found in the search. And even more so, the FBI did put out there that they did not believe that this was the case.
Yeah, I don't believe that for 1 second.
I agree.
The time window is also just so, like the dad saw her and then like what a half hour later woke up.
Around, yep.
I mean, I know things can happen in a half hour, but that seems like too short of a window,
1,000% agree.
especially if she was sleeping the first time he saw her.
Yep. The second theory is foul play on the ship. She had those strange encounters on the ship with her neighbor, the waitstaff, Yellow, etc. Some people believe foul play happened on the ship and then she was possibly thrown overboard. Again, though, nobody washed up and they did do that search of the ship. However, it was super late. Also, quickly, speaking of Yellow, his daughter actually appeared on the documentary.
He's got kids.
A daughter, and she called her dad, Yellow, on the documentary and was like, just tell me what happened. And he seemed to get upset and was like, I don't know anything. The police cleared me. But the daughter seems to think differently. So just interesting.
Really? That says a lot if your daughter thinks differently than you.
I
I'm going to
agree.
go down a freaking rabbit hole on this case, Samantha. This is a good one.
What?
As of March 11th, 2023, Alistair Douglas, aka Yellow, is now an ordained reverend.
This is your life?
That's what it says on this Amy Bradley is missing page.
Well, then I really hope he wasn't involved because I don't love that. But the last theory would be human trafficking. Witnesses saw her later on. The photo online of the woman, the Navy man who said he saw her, all of these sightings that seem legit and just don't add up.
I definitely lean towards that just because there were, and I know all of those people can be lying. Like she might be dead, like, and she might have been dead since the beginning because people do lie and people try to get into it. But like, I think the tattoo thing does it for me because you would remember that tattoo, especially in a weird encounter like the scuba diver guy. I believe that he saw that. And I think it all kind of adds up to that.
I also think, like, why would this Navy man say he was in a brothel? You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't some juice to it. Like, again, people can lie and he could still be lying. But I really do believe the people who say they saw her, to be honest. And they all appear in the documentary that you guys should go watch. Another thing that I'll put right here, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do too much research in it on it, and when I quickly Googled it, it did say it was recanted. But I believe recently her brother Brad appeared on a podcast and said that he also thought Scientology could be involved because there were some people on the ship like that. But I don't know if that was made up, if that was AI, but if you've been following the case, you may have seen that. So like I didn't want to just not put it out there.
Mm-hmm. Seems unlikely.
That's kind of where I'm at. But the whole Bradley family does have a gut feeling that Amy is still out there. And honestly, I think she is too. Gut instincts are so important. So any information, big or small, could be so helpful to this investigation. If you were on the cruise ship or have been to Curacao or Barbados or possibly anywhere in the Caribbean and saw Amy Bradley, you need to let the FBI know. We'll post pictures on our socials, But I think this family deserves more than anything to be reunited with their daughter. But at the very least, they deserve answers. So please, 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 please get the word out there and let's help this family out.
Wow. What an insane case.
It definitely can bring you down rabbit holes. And like, it's just so scary to me that it was like at the most this 30-minute window of her just getting up, possibly to go smoke on the deck, like her dad say, and then something happened. And I just think it's so sad. And this family is not stopping. This family is doing literally everything they can to keep the story out there, to find Amy, combing through the tips. So I just really, really hope that we can find her and find answers.
Me too. Oh my gosh. This is one of those cases that I'm like, I want the answer. I want the answer right now.
Yeah, you love an unsolved, and I feel like this is right up your alley of like you would love to deep dive. Go watch that Netflix documentary.
I'm
It's good.
going to.
Hmm.
I usually don't watch it like when you explain it to me because I'm like, oh, if Sam told me everything, but I want to like hear all the nitty gritty of this case.
Yeah, you can see the families, you can see the witnesses, you can see Alistair's daughter. Like, even if you heard this, and I do, use a lot of it, but not all of it. So definitely go watch it.
And then this Amy Bradley is missing website is very cool. It's broken up very cool. I think I'm going to spend some time on this week.
Also a great resource and like very nice of this guy to like put it together and then him and David to like tag team and look up the IP addresses. I just think that there are a lot of people who do want answers and I do think it's possible. It just is going to take one person who saw her and can corroborate something.
Yes. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening. Please, wherever you're listening to us right now, give us a little follow, give us a little review, say, we like it. Hopefully, if you do. Um, you can also follow us and chit chat with us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and the YouTube.
Yes. Send us an email also. You can chit chat with us there or give us a case suggestion or tell us a cool story to bloodshedbaddies@gmail.com. Our intro music is made by the amazing cousin Vinny. Tell a friend, tell your dog, tell your cats, tell your birds, tell your hamsters, tell your guinea pigs. And tune in next week for a Lexi episode.
I'm doing something very different next week, Baddies.
Oh, yay.
It's technically not true crime, but I really want to talk about it. So I'm going to do it.
Oh, God. Tune in with me, baddies. Love you guys.
Bye bye.